Resume live? I just started. What do you mean resume live? That's wild. Let's see if I can add. Invite.
I've been sitting here waiting for you.
I'm so sorry. I don't know. I didn't get a notification that you were live, so I was like, oh, maybe she's still having malfunctions.
I just said I'm gonna hold my phone till it charges enough, and then I'll set it down to throw cards because I don't have a phone stand now. Oh no, I broke it, like beyond broke it. I'll also order a new one today. It's fine.
I just
Just ride the wave. Ride the wave.
I have like zero anything, and then like not me like excited panicking. I don't know if anybody can relate to that. Like when you're not actually panicking, you're just moving so quickly that you're like, so that happened, and I decided to go from downstairs and not go upstairs. Welcome in, guys. Welcome in. To not go upstairs. So I have like a couple decks, you know what I mean, like with us, but I don't have like my 20 decks, you know what I mean? So I don't know. We're doing all the things.
I'm sorry, I brought 8.
I'm sure you did. I'm sure you like when I'm telling you, dude, like I just posted the video and I was like, we gotta go now. Like
When you're like,
I was just like all like fired up but going nowhere.
I was already doing that.
I was like all fired up but like headed nowhere, and I was like, okay. Welcome in.
Don't confuse movement with progress. You can run in place and still be not going anywhere.
Fags. Oh my goodness. Whew. All good things. I just hope everyone's having a great day. I know we're a little bit late than normal, but today's it. Today's the day. And like I'll tell you what, this day has not been without its minor issues, but every minor issue has worked itself out before you even have a chance to worry about it. Like before you even have a chance to think about it, the universe is like, shut up, it's already fixed. Like it's literally just shut up, it's fixed already. Like go about your day. We fixed it. Like
all that. I literally woke up this morning and it was storming here. So like tell me like everything, like stop asking the universe why it's conspiring against you, because the universe is never conspiring against you. So just stop that whole train of thought. And the reason I say that, I woke up and it was storming here this morning. I woke up and I was like, let me get up early. I'm not going to work out. I'm going to let my dogs out before it rains, right?
Yep.
My internet's knocked out. And I'm like, well, we were supposed to go live. Now let's put it this way. We were going to go live between 11 and 11:30. So I'm like, it's cool. Like, it's fine. Like, it's 10:45. This shit still ain't back on. 11 o'clock on the dot, my internet comes back online. Now, mind you, in the process, I got busy doing something else. So I'm like, okay, but like, again, I didn't let it bother me. I found something to do. I wasn't pissy and, put your big girl pants on. The redirection is a blessing. Did a whole bunch of shit that was really cool in the meantime.
Oh, and that's what just makes it so much fun, is that the fact that you don't have to do anything. Like, you literally don't. You just have to sit there and maintain the energy that you're in and just watch everything just be cleared out. Watch everything just fall into place. Watch everything work for you. And it's so stupid to hear people say it. And it's another level of like, oh my God, stupidity, to where it's like, oh, wait a minute. And I love that they're like bringing me back to that message that I always tell you that is one of my favorite quotes. It's not that hard. It's just that easy. Like, and it's fully welcome in, Claudia. That's fully part of what we're sitting in right now, that we're making it harder than it has to be. We're also taking things too seriously. So I feel like both of those paired together equals some badass energy. Hey. Welcome in.
But that's the thing. I just said it in the video I just posted. Everything is hidden in plain sight. The universe is not conspiring against you. It is literally asking you to trust the process. And trusting the process is staying in the present moment. Dude, this is my whole video. I'm just letting you know. Whole video.
I'm telling you right now, all I can think about is that thing that you sent me, and it's like, does the process know we're trusting it? Because I'm gonna need it to know we're trusting it.
The process knows we're trusting it. Yes, it does. And when I say that, the process absolutely knows you're trusting it, because right now, like, people are almost like, I want to say this, the energy is freaking wild. And I don't even mean like we got chaos going on, but ain't nobody paying attention to that because nobody cares anymore. When I say that, it's like you got your baseball bat out. Like, just call this a collective. So we're going to call this a collective right now. Like, you just
Facts.
knocking them out of the park. Like, you're like, I don't align with this. I'm aligning accordingly. I'm not entertaining you. Get the F away from me. Like, this isn't what we're doing anymore. So you're like, and when I say this, like, your team, your guide, spirit, all of this, like, everybody is like
Yeah.
in a fortress. Like, you're not even
Yep.
entertaining it. All you have to do is focus on what's in front of you. And when I say trust the process, like, trusting the process sucks sometimes because it's
Yeah.
so unfamiliar. You know what I'm saying? Think about it. Like, if we don't trust ourselves, essentially we don't trust other people. So we're projecting our trust wound onto others. And if the whole thing is to realize that you are spirit in a vessel, we are all one, we are all connected, you have to start learning to trust yourself before you're going to trust anyone else. This
Well,
comes in. Oh,
and
go
then
ahead.
the fire. Well, but the fire thing is, and I think it's Bashar that said it. I saw it somewhere. I think it's Bashar when he's just like, it's so funny that we say we don't trust people. We have trust wounds, but we trust the fact that we don't trust people.
That.
So is it just our construct? Is it just our construct that we can't trust anybody but ourselves? And it's not that we don't have a trust wound. It's just our internalized construct. Like, and it's just, I love, and this is why I'm so looking forward to the podcast, answering your guys' questions that are kind of these like intricate, like how will we look at things? How do things come, like how that all matters, how we view things and our constructs and what we bring to the table, because I'm super fired up about all of this. And it's one of those things that like I love, you and me both love taking things and picking it apart and being like, does this make sense? Does this not? What's going on over here? And I'm so excited because just something like that being like, but you trust the fact that you can't trust anybody. You trust the fact that you have a trust wound. You're trusting all of these things. So you have the capability of trust. You have the ability, the innate, naturalness to trust. So what's really stopping you? The box you put yourself in, the experiences you haven't dealt with, your part of your shadow that you tried to like cast away and this and that. Like, it's just all of these different layers of self. And it's just like, come sit down. Like, let's dismantle it together, because we had to do it for ourselves and we're still actively doing it every step of the way, every single day. So it's like one of those things, like, it's super easy for people to say it. And it's another ball game when you sit there and you do it because you want to, because you have to, because you just realize you woke up one day and you just don't want to be where you're at. It doesn't feel good. You don't like it, right? It does no longer aligns. Thank you for the follow. It no longer aligns. And this is what one of the cool things is. And I started, like, Keys, you've heard me use it a million times in my space recently, just being like, no, I refuse. Damn. As I say that, they're like, I refuse to believe that this is my reality. You know how powerful that statement is, with all of your ness being like, no. rewind that wheel, that karmic clock. Like, you're just like, no, I don't align with this. I refuse to agree with the fact that this type of a thing, this type of an energy is in my reality, and this is something I'm receiving. Send it back. Try again. Give me something that aligns. You will be freaking amazed with how much the universe is like, you didn't like this? Oh crap. Okay. This. And you're like, yes, give me that instead. Like, it just, and it's so stupid simple, I feel like, but keep it simple, stupid. It doesn't have to be hard. And it's just one of those things, like, I just really started like firmly saying it recently. Like, you've heard me say it probably like what, a half a dozen times since we started this like whole thing this past like week. And I'm literally like maybe half a dozen times a day where I'm like, I refuse to believe this. I refuse to accept this. I refuse to adopt this, whether it be people's projections, 3:23 on the clock, whether it's people projections, opinions, outcomes, obstacles, it doesn't matter. I'm like, nope, that's not my energy. And I'm only taking what aligns. Send it back. And it is wild that the universe is like, yeah, or God, source, creator, whatever you want to choose, slide in the label you wish. But it's one of those things, like, it's so wild when they're like, oh, you're okay, let's try again. And they reciprocate the energy you put out. They reciprocate what you demand, what you own, what you adopt into your frequency. Like, it's so mind-boggling, but fun at the same time, you know?
Yep.
All good things, B. All good things. I'm like super pumped for today. The list is open, guys. We're probably going to either continue this little energetic talk of the collective, and we may throw a couple cards here and there for collective, but the list is open. We're doing 25-25 today for dual reads, so feel free. We have Cash App, we have Venmo. Get on the list while you can. We're only going to be on for like an hour and a half tops, so take advantage of it while you can, you know. And for those of you who don't know, we are running a coupon on the private side of things this month. We're doing a give back for you guys because you guys always expressed to us how you couldn't choose between which person to go with for shadow work and mentorship and this stuff on the private side of things. So we opened up a coupon for you guys for dual that it makes it cheaper than the single person shadow work space. So you might as well use it. It's called Dueling My Shadow 50 is the code that you'll need at checkout. But feel free to use it. It's open through the end of the month. So when you sign up for a dual shadow workspace with me and Miss Keys, you get 50% off. And we're just doing it for the people who are saying they don't know if this is something they want to do, but they kind of want to try it out, but they're not sure who they want to work with and this, that, and the other. This allows you to kind of take that baby step into that space, and you'll meet with us for an hour and a half. And you can decide if it's something that you think will benefit you or something you might not want to do. So, everyone's at a different space in their journey. So like, it is what it is, but it gives you the opportunity to test the waters, to try that space out, to take a risk on yourself and to invest in yourself at a lower cost of a risk for you, especially when money's here and everyone's in the chase for money. It feels like collectively, I feel like I get more complaints of people saying, how do I manifest money? How do I do this? You know, money's really tight right now. So we're hearing you guys in your current place struggle, and we're just trying to help you guys out. So that is available to you should you want to use it. It's open all month. It is Dueling My Shadow 50 is the code. I'm so excited. I'm sorry. I feel like I'm so like that. I feel like I'm just gonna keep talking. So feel free just to talk right over me
That's why I
because
just shut up, because I'm like, dude, I'll just keep talking. Like, I will just keep talking.
it's just like level 4,000
But
is what the energy is over here.
that's because, like, seriously though, as more people break out of the like messed up constructs, literally it is about trusting in the knowing. Like, I can't say that enough right now. It is literally about listening to yourself, reading the room, reading the energy, picking up on the subtleties. It is not discrediting yourself, because like we were just talking about trust wounds. Why do we all have a trust wound? Let's be serious. I'm going to say this because not many people like it. We discredit ourselves. Thus, we then adopt other people's BS as ours. So because we didn't listen to ourselves, we discredited ourselves, we ignored a red flag, we did all this shit, we then are guilty of projecting our trust wound onto other people. Then law of resonance, the universe gives you what you are, not what you want. Then you're just bringing all this lack of trust into your life because you don't trust yourself. So right now, when I say that, this is the magic. This is the magic in your whole mix-up right now. When you trust yourself, you don't need to see it with your eyes. You trust your gut, your knowing, your intuition. Man, woman, I don't care what, it doesn't matter. Your entire life will change. You will not find yourself literally seeking approval, validation. You don't care what anybody says, and not even in an egotistical way. You are so like authentically confident is the word I want to use. You are so authentically confident because you actually trust the process. You know you're divinely guided. You know you're divinely protected. You don't have to see it. When something that seems like fuck shit, I'm gonna say it, something seems like fuck shit is coming your way, right? You're literally being shown it. Why on earth would you think something is conspiring against you? Your
Yep.
guide, source, God, creator, universe, whatever your understanding is, wrapped it up in a bow and gave it to you. Like, here's my favorite example. You know, people be all stupid on social media, because I'm going to say this because somebody has to. People be stupid on social media. Okay? TikTok, Facebook, specifically those two, okay? Did you know that if you block people on TikTok and then you go unblock and reblock them while you go creep their page from the background, TikTok actually tells on you. Because when you do that, it doesn't give time for like TikTok algorithm, whatever it is that they do. You will literally pop up on their FYP. Please stop telling on yourself. Fun fact, if you don't believe me about Facebook, here's one. Riddle me this, Riddler. There's a video on here that's gone around. I've seen it numerous times, but it recently came back up in my field the other day. So I'm going to call all this out too today. It was this lady who was talking about how she used to work some kind of internet safety, right? And her entire purpose was talking about internet safety for your children. However, she let everybody know from the career space that she was in that if people start popping up on your Facebook that you have no mutual friends with, that you have no connection to, it means they've looked at your profile at least 3 times, right? So, like, if you mind in your own business and some shit comes up on your Facebook, and like for me, I'm not active on Facebook. I occasionally go wish a happy birthday to my family because that's how the older people in my family, that's where they operate. Every once in a while, I post a picture of my kids. But oh my gosh, I get on my Facebook the other day after seeing this video that I'd already seen, right? And lo and behold, somebody was creeping my Facebook. And I'm like, I'm laughing. I'm literally laughing because I'm like, so you mean to tell me there were signs everywhere? I'm wondering why this random video about internet safety is on my TikTok, because that is definitely not the side of TikTok I'm on, not the algorithm I'm in. And then within 35 minutes, I go to wish someone a happy birthday, and that pops up on my Facebook. Oh, you mean the signs and synchronicities were there? I just wasn't paying attention until it was delivered right in front of my face? So when I say this, it's not anybody conspiring against you. That's literally the opposite of thinking you're divinely protected. If you know you're protected and you know you're divinely guided, you know that like the universe, God's got you no matter what comes your way. So you don't even pay it any attention. But when I say the signs are everywhere, like people tell on themselves, spirit, God, creator, universe, your higher understanding, they will literally bring it to you right in front of your face. And then you're like, you know what? I don't play in that playground anymore. I don't play in it. I don't care what you're doing. My page is public here on TikTok. My page is private on Facebook. So do whatever you try to do, right? It's just comical because it's like, it goes to show it doesn't matter what you do. Some people will always allow you to rent space for free in their head. And it's like, move on. That's unhinged, unhealed shit. It's just that simple.
Unhinged. I just love that
Unhinged.
word,
It's
unhinged.
unhealed. Get a hobby. Get a
Well,
whole ass
it's not
hobby.
even that, but like what I struggle with, and it might not even be a struggle, but what I continuously sometimes welcome in eyeballs, welcome in Angel all day. Hey Steph, I saw you too. What I continuously sometimes bat back and forth is that if we're the universe, like just this philosophy, right? If we're the universe experiencing ourselves, right? Or if we are, what happens on the inside is reflected back to us in our physical reality, right? Like if we take that concept and that construct, my only question is then if the universe is out to get you, then are you just out to get yourself? Is it a self-sabotage? Is it a lack of self-love? Is it like, what is it on the inside? Like, what does that translate to on the inside that would be bringing that type of a lesson, a construct, or whatever? Is it ego? Are you battling something larger than life because it has to be larger than life because you don't pay attention to you? Like, I like, there's like this part of me that I'm like, and like I asked this about myself. I've done this part of my journey. I've done, like, you know what I mean? I come to conclusions and I call everything a working definition because as I live with it, as I grow with it, it has to grow or with me, or it can head out. it can head out, because sometimes it's just one of those things, and that's people, places, that's definitions, that's constructs, like, and it's just one of those things that I have to ask myself that question, and I encourage people to do the same when we work with them. I mean, when we work with them in the back end space, it's like, but I understand how things may not appear on the surface that they're working out for you. But the redirection, 9 out of 10 chooses to be the blessing. And the one that's the 1 out of 10, you just haven't seen how it's the blessing yet. Because if everything's a domino effect and every decision, choice, breath, moment, interaction, whatever, is built on and grown and your life continues forward, right? Like, then every single thing serves a purpose. It doesn't mean that when bad things happen, we shove it under the rug and we don't own the fact that it's not invalidating your experience at all. It's not invalidating your emotions at all. It's not giving excuse for bad things. There is a difference. But I'm just saying, if you had to go through that, because without going through that, you wouldn't be the you that you are today.
1000%.
It just changes perspective on a lot of things. And I know it's crazy, like, but it just, I don't know.
2, 3, 4 on the clock. But the thing is, a lot of times the biggest catalyst for growth is pain, because we alchemize that pain into power, right? So it's like, when somebody betrays you or this or that, like, spirit or the universe is moving that person out of your way. They're showing you true colors. Does it hurt because you saw something in that person, or you saw potential, or you desired a different outcome? It absolutely hurts. And the assignment isn't to push the hurt down and run from it. It's to give that hurt and pain space, acknowledge it, and then transmute it, alchemize it for your highest, greatest good. And that's sometimes where people, they ebb and flow into the sitting in something versus moving through it. You're absolutely right, Tanya. It's not to create out a place of desperation, but instead inspiration. And we say that all the time. It's not creating out of a lack.
You don't want what you create out of desperation. I'm going to tell you that right now, as somebody who has created out of desperation in the past, because I was more powerful than I even realized I was, especially at a younger age, especially at a less spiritually aware stage, like, right, like a self-aware stage, right, like where you're actually feeling through everything. You don't want what you create out of desperation, because it creates desperate energy, which is like chaos, catalyst, unstructured. It comes with its own issues, its own problems, its own domino effect that ain't nobody want.
But you know what? But it's so important that you say that, because, like, if you actually want to understand how powerful you truly are, and this hurts feelings sometimes, but
be sarcastic and see how fast it comes. That's how powerful you are.
Because the universe doesn't hear your sarcasm. The universe gives you what you are, not what you want. So when you say something sarcastically and then it happens and you're like, oops. Not only that, think about when you sit in, and again, just think about it. When you sit in a space of anxiety, or you sit in a space of fear, your fear, when you start letting that fuel, right? And you sit in that anxious energy, you will watch that shit materialize really, really fast. You have a way of almost manifesting your fears quicker than you manifest your blessings, right? Because your anxiety fuels the fear. It's paired together. It's the power in numbers, right? So that's why you see that stuff become so tangible so quickly. That's why on the level of vibrations and emotions and Spain scales and all of that, why do you think they say, oh, the powers that be, if you play in that construct, want to keep people in fear? You manifest that shit so fucking fast.
Well, like, and it's so crazy, because I always love saying, and I know people who have been here for a minute have heard me say it for months now, like, I love the idea of, and I say I love the idea of, because it fits in what I have experienced on my own journey, on my own healing journey, on my own spiritual journey, on my own coming to terms with self journey, is that, like, you are separated into one so that you can learn where your energy ends and another's begins. It's so you can prime, prep, and establish energetic discernment, self-discernment, self-growth. You can own what's yours apart from everybody else, so you're not mistaking things. It's for clarification. It's for fine tuning of your feelers when it comes to your energy, your subtle energy, right? But that's not where we make a home. I love people, but that's not where we make a home. And sometimes I feel like it's taught incorrectly in a large part of the spiritual community. It's like, well, when you're really high vibrational, you can't go to the store. When you're really high vibrational, you can't go do this. And if you're really an empath, you can't go to parties and you don't want to do that. No, no, that's like toxic. That's like toxic. It's like, no, you are separate into one so you can learn yourself, your hermit journey, your teacher. You become your teacher. It's not that you teach for a teacher. No, you're your own teacher. You dive into self to learn what you have to learn because you have all of the answers. You ask for a physical answer, sign, synchronicity, and it will be gifted and granted to you. But you have everything that you need. So then it's like, then after you've learned yourself, you've learned everything to the point where you can come back into whole, come back into oneness. You're separated into one to come together as one. That's the whole point. So it's like when we take that philosophy, it's not that you're going to be separate for the rest of your life because you're just so awesome that no, absolutely not. Because that doesn't make any sense. It's about collaboration. It's about coming together. It's about hive mind. It's about interconnectedness of all things. People, plants, the earth, energies, like everything works together. It's like that's the web, that's the cosmic web, that's the this. And it's like it's planets, but it's individual energies. And it's one of those things like you just have to keep in mind, like if you are isolating yourself, and I mean isolating yourself, past the point of self awareness, past the point of self-growth, past the point of self-healing, you're really doing yourself and the rest of the community a disservice because the community would probably benefit from the things that you have learned about yourself. The community would probably benefit from your nest being readopted back into the web and letting your energy vibrate through the collective. You're doing yourself a disservice. You can be super high vibrational and go to Walmart. You can be super high vibrational and go to the gas station, hang out at a party. I'll take you one. You can have a drink every now and then. Like, I'm not saying go get smashed. I'm just saying, like, everything in moderation because it's everything in balance. It's not rejecting any one thing. That includes your shadow. That includes the lower level energies. That includes the upper level energies. It's both sides of the coin. It's unpopular opinion, but that's the way we teach it over here because you have to live in balance. That's where you find your peace.
Yep.
That's where you find time for everything in the physical. That's where you find work-life balance, physical balance, energetic balance. Like all of those things are super important. And I feel like I always hear it like mistaught, mistold, misspoke, or explained of the ego mind and of the individualistic mind frame and not the together mind frame, you know?
But people also don't realize that, like, why are you giving other people that much power over you?
Yep.
Not only that, if you can't go to the store or you can't go to places and you can't be around other energy, why are you giving that other people that much power over you? Better yet, when you realize that your reaction to something is also part of your power, you will stop giving it away. Your reaction is part of your power. When you realize that, you take your power back and you stop reacting. So that's the thing. When you come on here and you listen to people, are you listening to things 242 on the clock that empower you, your thoughts, your mind, the collective as a whole? Or are they fear mongering? Are they separating? Are they dividing? Are they promoting fear and imbalance? We are in a time of truth. We are in a time of balance. We are in a time of karma reckoning is what I want to call it. And when I say this, when you understand that karma is literally you reap what you sow in the law of cause and effect, so many people are excited about karma right now. And I don't even mean it in the sense of like, oh, we fit to watch them get what they deserve. No, that's your ego talking. It's not your job to dish out karma, to decide how someone receives karma, and that's foul as hell if that's your attitude and the energy you sit in.
But that's also not your lesson. That's also not your lesson. Talk about not staying in your lane and paying attention to the bullshit outside of you. That also doesn't affect you. If Tommy down the road gets smashed by the bus of karma, that doesn't mean anything to you. Like I hate this, but it doesn't mean anything to you. Like you still got your life, your energy, and your shit over here. Tommy getting dealt with karma just pats your ego if you have a personal beef with Tommy. But really, that should be a trigger for you. So you should turn that back around, breadcrumb, and look at yourself and go, why does that bother me? Why does that trigger me? What do I have left to look at?
Tommy to get his karma. Because that's the thing, but that's why I said, like, this energy is just wild. And when I say this, if you actually understand karma, the law of cause and effect, you reap what you sow. What you put out, you get back. Everybody is getting back what they put out right now. And if you've been putting out good shit, oh my God, your life is like level 100 right now. You don't even know what to do with it.
Yeah, it's wild.
Do with it.
And it's so wild because there was a point in time on my spiritual journey where I was like, oh God, karma. And I knew mentally that karma was neutral because it had to be, because I knew it was taught that it was both positive and negative, and it was just what you receive, right? Because what you put out. But there was still a connotation on it that was like, be careful, oh, karma's coming, be careful. Like there was still this undertone that always had me a little bit, I'm going to use the word anxious, nervous, a little bit, whoop, started at the bottom, now we're here. A little bit of this kind of like integration.
Hold on. I got you, Tanya, in just a minute. I got you.
It's like this integration, you know what I mean? So once I kind of decided that I was going to flip how I looked at it and really understand the truth that like it shouldn't faze you if somebody tells you you're going to get what you deserve. You're damn right I am, and I deserve the best. Waiter, like that's what just like
there's somebody named Tanya over here. She goes, like, I love it when I hear have the day you deserve. Dude, you have to be my person too, because that is like my most favorite thing to say.
You say it all the time.
Like a hoodie and a tank top. I got that on all my apparel. Because here's the thing, and I say this funny. I know it is a condescending statement, okay? I am very well aware. But it's only condescending, is it though? See, that's the thing. I had somebody go, that is the most condescending thing you could say to somebody. And I go, why? If I tell you, I hope you have the day you deserve, and you put all this good shit out in the world, I hope you have the day you deserve. I hope you get back every single thing that you put out into this world. You only take something as condescending if you know you do shitty shit and you project it on people. You take it condescending if you know what you actually putting out is foul as hell. So like you really don't want that in return. So I guess align accordingly and adjust your energy and your actions and your words so that they match. Because there's no reason to find defense and have the day you deserve.
Well, that's the thing. It's all the energy behind everything you do. Behind your actions, behind your words, behind your presence. Like, if you're doing offensive things, you need to check yourself before you wreck yourself, because chances are you've wrecked yourself a couple times. But then it's like on the flip side, is somebody doing offensive things, or are you offended? And then that's a personal thing. And it's the same thing with the intimidation. Because like, as a strong, powerful, and for most of my upbringing, a tomboy, a feminine, seated in her masculine, right? For a large part of my life, even when I was being friendly, people were intimidated. Hi, hey, can I help you? Do you want? And when you would say, no, I don't agree with you, you would watch people have inner spirals right in front of you. And then I know a ton of my ladies who are working in jobs that maybe have high tier levels, and you know, you go up the ladder and this and that and blah, blah, blah. And there's people above you and your supervisor and this. You were the biggest problem because you were bringing people didn't want to become aware of the problem. And when you spoke up in a business professional way, going, no, I don't necessarily know if I agree with that, but this, like maybe we could come to the table. You'd be surprised how many people are like, she's so intimidating. No, you're intimidated because I am at home in this energy and I have no problem. I don't need to play small. I mean, now I'm gonna own my shit. Like I was in my masculine, so I was not balanced in my soft feminine, but I was not saying it offensively. I would even be like, hey, you know, I was thinking about this, and it would still come off as rawr. And it's like, if you just like, I used to get complaints when I used to work with college kids. Like I would walk by and be like, hey, how's it going? And like keep walking. And I would get like she's so scary. Like kids who have never talked to me, she's so scary. What is scary about me? I just said hi to like 12 of your classmates. It's just really she's intimidating. Like I would get people who would come up to me and be like, "Hey, this person says they're really intimidated to talk to you. Why? They've never talked to me before." And I've helped all their
My
friends.
problem.
Why are they intimidated to talk to me? I don't know.
Hi,
And then
Rosie.
they actually talk to you and you're like, and they're like, "Okay, that wasn't so bad." I'm like, "Yeah, because you're intimidated. I'm not intimidating." Like there's a
You're doing
difference.
great. How are
If there's
you?
no action, that's wild. But I just think it's interesting because as we start taking those like self checks and you start looking at yourself, your journey, where you started, where you're at now, and all the things that you have grown, evolved, and everything, it's just
Mm-hmm. Oh, she froze. She'll be back. You're right. So many words are so energetically charged. But the thing is, are they charged or are people's perceptions what need to be shifted? Because just like you said, are you intimidated or am I confidence intimidating to you?
the
Because
talk
that's
just did an update
perspective.
and booted me all the way out.
I
So
know.
I can't see anybody's comment. I'm so sorry if I missed your
I know.
comment.
I go, she'll be right back.
I guess I got too excited over here. It like did an update.
But again, like when you even think about that though, when we literally get down to like, you know, like you just said, our words energetically, some words are more energetically charged than others. It's people's perceptions that are so charged. Because like I said, my confidence or your confidence or someone's confidence being perceived as intimidating is in the eye of the beholder. So they need to ask themselves, what is it about you that is triggering them to be intimidated? You don't have to water yourself down because, damn it, and I'll say this for people who are standing in their authenticity right now, you fought like hell to get to where you're standing right now. See, people see the fit, you say this, people see the finished product or the current version of you and have no idea what you went through to get to this very point. You know what? That's fine. Project all you want. I'm not participating anymore. I'm not.
Well, to me, it's always interesting because they want what you have, but they don't want what it took for you to get it. And I
Exactly.
always, it used to irritate me. Like I used to personally get offended back in the day when people would be like, "Well, you just don't understand," and they would make an assumption of my energy, myself, my story, my person, and I'd be like, "What? What do you mean I don't understand? You don't know me?" Like, and you would get personally offended because they're like, "Well, you just don't get it," and you're like, "Calm down." But like now, like just where we're at and where a large part of the collective that we deal with is at is like it's okay if you don't, you're over there and I'm over here, but what you think of me does no longer determines how I think of myself and my worth and my internalized, viewpoint of myself. So it's just interesting. It
Correct.
is just interesting, you know.
But that's the thing when we can say that we see, you know, that we're individuals, but we're pieces of a whole, right?
Yes.
You realize, and this is when you, this is like a, if you want to like check yourself or you wreck yourself moment. When you realize that most people project when they see something in you that they lack in themselves, and it's coming from a space of imbalance, them being self-critical and then projecting it on you, you don't take offense to it. You stop taking offense to it because it's not yours. It's when you're adopting somebody's shit as yours that you're offended. And then you need to ask yourself, see, like I said, check yourself or you wreck yourself. Why are you offended if someone doesn't like you? Why are you offended if someone is mad about you speaking truth? Because I always say this, truth defends itself. Truth does not care what anybody's feelings are. It remains unchanged, unscathed, regardless of any of that. So when you look at people from a place of compassion and grace and healing, you can be like, I see me in you. Maybe not the current version of me, but I see me 10 years ago in you. I see me 5 years ago in you. I'm not going to judge you because, damn it, I walked those shoes too in my own way. And it was not a pretty chapter of my story. So I'm not here to judge you, but I'm a observe from a distance. I'm a love you from a distance because
From a
you don't get
distance.
from a distance because you don't get access to me. And that's not a dickhead thing to say. It's a I value my energy now and I value where I invest it because your energy is your currency. It's not money, it's not materialistic shit. It is literally your energy. And when you actually realize that, you will protect it at all costs and you will do it unapologetically. You will stop making excuses, over explaining yourself, all of the things you once did when you're like, my energy is actually my currency. Bye. And the thing is, we have to hold on. We got to normalize something too. Because we got to normalize something. It is okay to say, I don't align with this or with this person and move on with your life. It does not mean there's bad blood. It does not mean there's bullshit. It literally means you don't align anymore. And I say this right now because we are in Pluto retrograde. Pluto retrograde happens every year. And when Pluto rolls in retrograde, be prepared for shit to be ripped away from you in a blink of an eye. In a blink of an eye. Like you will wake up and one day everything will change. It may feel like everything is crashing down. It may feel like you woke up and you lost your family, your friends, your job, your this, your that. It is literally Pluto saying you have made all of these changes or you haven't, one way or the other. And this shit no longer aligns and zoop, goodbye. And
Yep.
I mean, you will literally be standing there, good, bad, or indifferent, no matter which side you fall on in this, when this happens, with your jaw like, what the hell just happened? It's what the hell just happened type of energy. But when I
Yep.
say this, that's align accordingly. Align, like you said the other day, align accordingly before everything shifts and is removed. It's
And
removed one way or another.
it's just decision time. It has
Yes.
nothing to do with you can make a different decision later. Like it's fine. You can renege on your decision. That's not the point. The point is, at least in that message that
Present
you're
moment.
referring to, was that spirit told you to decide now what you choose to align with and stick to it. Become seated in it, even momentarily. Because, and to be seated in what you align with, you have to match it. So, like, people
Yes.
need to understand that. When they say being seated with what you align with, they're saying being seated and rooted within self. So that way what aligns with you is naturally magnetized, drawn to, pulled into you without any extra effort on your part. When you are so solid in your self foundations, you're returning to roots and you are rooted with inside that type of a self energy, that center peace, soul, whatever type of an energy, that's what
Correct.
they're talking about. And it's just
Yes,
one of those
Anya,
things
you're
that
correct.
it's just like it's so simple, but that's just what Pluto does. You decide what you align with and then everything else leaves. And a lot of times it's just that it fades away or it can implode, whatever, but a lot of times it just seeds itself out. Like it depends on what your reality and how much tension it is around you with the things that you don't align with. Like tension is dis-ease. Dis-ease equals a like just bleh, energy in your energy field. Like I don't know how to make that make sense. It's just
Yes.
bleh, the shit you don't want there. Like, and it leads to other issues if left unchecked.
Correct.
Like, so it's
And
just
I
it's
mean,
just one of those things. I don't know.
but I mean, seriously, look back, because when I say this, Pluto retrograde comes around the same time every year. So if nobody discern this one for yourself. Go back to this time last year. Go back to it when it was choice time, and then Pluto let you go through whatever your choice was. See how your life is. Are you back to a precipice moment, or what is your trust fall? It's a trust fall moment. I'm serious. Every single time.
But it's a
So when
trust fall like into self. Like I
yes,
can't I feel like I can't spit those words out enough
yes,
today. It's a trust fall to self.
yes,
And when you fall so hard into yourself, you will do whatever is asked of you on the outside in order to remain seated in self. Like, that's the way that I want to say that. Like, when you vibe with yourself so hard, I'm not talking from a place of ego. I'm talking a place of balance, masculine, feminine energy reaching a precipice of a together, a oneness, to where you're operating as one energy, right? You're operating as one being, one soul in a vessel, one spirit in a vessel. Like that type of a interconnected, connected to the planet, the cosmos, whatever type of an energy, you will do whatever it takes in the physical as far as action in order to maintain it for as long as possible. So when you are asked to make a physical jump, a physical move, because something currently in your outside, your physical, your 3D, whatever you want to call it, your reality, no longer aligns or causes you agitation, irritation to the point where it's not easily fixable. And it's just the essence of this energy not aligning with you, whether that be a person, a place, a job, a thing, an animal, it doesn't matter. Whatever it is, everything's energy. So if that no longer drives with you and you're being told to move, and so many people are energetically, vibrationally, physically, you're going to do whatever it takes. And when you're asked those things of you, you know it's to maintain the balance you've already cultivated, because they're sending you somewhere better. It's the trusting and having the duration of faith through the rail. I'm getting like poked through the rail, like through the rail yard, railroad. That's weird. Through the transition period, which would be your pathway to the new place, to the new energy, to the what they're replacing it with. I don't know who needs to hear that, but it's the maintaining the duration of faith that you started with when you first did your leap while you're falling, right? And it's not always easy. We have second guesses, and it's okay. But it's just swerving yourself back to your alignment, back to your trust, back to your faith, back to your whatever it took for you to take that step off the ledge, the fall off the mountain, the whatever. Like, if you can maintain that, that's when things come through. And it's honestly, it's majority. I hate when people make a slip up or a question, or when you question for a second, they make it too big of a deal. It's allowed to happen. It's the ebb and flow.
Sorry.
What?
Somebody goes, time doesn't exist now. Thank you I just want to tell you this. Thank you for being a confirmation. Okay? We say this all the time. Everybody is a messenger. Never shoot a messenger. Never, ever, ever shoot a messenger. Because you were just a messenger without even knowing it. So when I say nothing is a coincidence, I don't believe in coincidences, number one. Nothing is a coincidence. I don't believe that we're here today after we were supposed to be here 5 hours ago. And we're here. No. We're here now. You're in our chat. You literally just said the sweetest thing ever. First of all, I want to go back and share this with you. She said, I really vibe with y'all. It's so rare to hear people this aligned. The first time I've seen such a pure spiritual collaboration.
I'm going to cry. Wait.
Yes.
I don't cry easily, so just give me a second. I don't have words.
Laughing, we laugh as deflection. So just so you know, that's our shitty coping skill, is humor and laughter. Because we're healing, not healed. Nobody's ever fully healed. But no, seriously, time is a construct, and it's not even here anymore. It's not, and thank you for saying that, because if I said that, it might not be as received as I thought it would, but thank you for saying it for us, because we have had this conversation privately for weeks now. And I wanted to piggyback off something else you just said about people being forced to make a choice. Your mental choices first. Here's your ripple. I'm going to show you the ripple. Your mental choices first, because you're fighting your head and your heart. You're fighting your head and your heart. You make your mental decision first. It changes your entire construct. You then ground your emotions because you begin to listen to your intuition. You then draw this in, right? You draw this in to your physical, material world. The material world, your physical world materializes last. That's why the physical manifestations that people ask for come last. But when your head and your heart, your thoughts, your emotions are in check and in balance, you're in flow state. Flow state. You're not fighting your mind. You're not fighting your emotions, your energy and motion. That's all they are. You're grounded. Thought first ripples into your emotions, ripples into your physical reality. And right now, this is tsunami energy. I want to tell you that it is tsunami energy. We're not dripping. These aren't like you said it the other a week ago, dipping your toe in the pool. We 10 toes deep. We are 10 toes deep energy now. Like you're either all in or you're not. And if you're all in, even if you're mentally all in, you are literally sitting in a different frequency, vibration than you were 5 days ago, a week ago.
And
People
I
made
just
mental
love
decisions last week. Mental.
I just love the way that my team said it when they gave that message about dipping your toe in the water, because the way that they said it, I don't think I could have made an analogy on purpose that even touched the way they said it, because
Right.
they were talking about quit dipping your freaking toe in the water, and they said it like that. They're like,
Test in the
quit it
water.
with your big toe in the water. They're like, stop.
Because you don't know
And
how
the
to
reason
swim.
that they said it is there because they're like, because you're making yourself appear to everything in the sea that you are smaller than you are. The piranhas are descending upon your toe in the water, thinking you're small game. So little nuisances are what you will find. They're like, you should have just trusted us and jumped in. You would have had the element of surprise, and we haven't dropped you yet. They were so adamant about it. They were so adamant about it. And it just seemed like it made so much sense. I was like, oh my God, when we hesitate, it comes from a place of worry, of anxiety, of lack of trust, of questioning, right? If it's gonna work out. What if having the lack of control
It's the
over
seed of
how it's
doubt.
gonna work out? But it's crazy. It's crazy to think about when we test the water in hesitation, we are making ourselves appear smaller. We are not owning our full body, our full energy, our full soul, our full ness when we do those things. And it's just it blew me away. Like I had to like I don't even know that I delivered it well as a message, but because sometimes when I feel like when I have to re-say a message, it never comes out as beautiful as they lay it on me the first time. But it's like it was just that hit me like so in the core, and I'm still trying not to cry from before, and I don't know why because I'm not a crier, but it just hits in a different resonance, a different frequency. You know what I mean? um so first of all, thank you to whoever made that comment.
Her
I
name is
cannot express to you how amazing it is that we have people who jive so much with what we do, because we really built this from our experiences. We built this from our real life experiences. We built this from our soul, from our heart, and we were just tired of the bullshit that people were selling for money. We're not here to sell you anything, but we can sure as shit help you if you need help, because we had to help ourselves most of the way. We never want to be your crutch. We never want to be the thing you rely on, but we will surely be the thing that helps you and learn how to rely on yourself, who helps you learn to know when to ask for help and when you have it, because you know your fucking worth. And there's just a part I hope you know, shut the fuck up. I just think that there's like a part of what we bring to the table that it makes me so excited that I quit my 9 to 5. It makes me so excited that we took the leaps of faith that we did to be able to do this, because even days like this where people would see it as not profitable because we're just talking and we're not throwing cards, this to me is some of the best energy we could be sitting in, because we
yes.
enjoy the community that we're building. We
Yes.
enjoy the real life no bullshit conversations where we're like, oh no, we had that struggle, oh no, that don't make sense to us, what do you guys think? Like this type of stuff is what we enjoy doing. And when we're not doing it with you, you better believe we're doing it with each other or in our private spaces by ourselves because we can't get the other one on the phone. Like this is like part of what we try to build. So when we say that you're separated into one, we did our healing journeys and we were separated and we did have a certain level of isolation, hermit mode, of whatever you want to call those moments of life, but we're coming back into complete oneness with the collective. And we are not, I tell everybody, we don't message you first. We don't bribe you. We don't force ourselves on you. We don't make you drink the Kool-Aid, is what Keys always says, right? Like we just are, and the things that need us find us. If you have the confidence in self and your energy to live your life that way. And it's not easy. Like, let's not sit up here and pretend it's easy, because it's not. But if you take it day by day and you stay in the present now moment and you deal with things as they arise, you would be amazed at how beautiful that part of your life is. It's like best friend vibes.
Thank you.
Y'all are so nice. Like, you guys are so
We're
nice.
Tanya, we're gonna unpack this with you because we're unpack this with you. You said you're still working through your imposter syndrome. Let's work through it.
And hold on, what? Your imposter syndrome?
You're not an
Who
imposter.
are you
Stop it.
impersonating?
You're not impersonating anybody. You're just trying to feel your way through.
I can't hear you.
Learning to
There you
drown
go.
out the background noise. Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Yep. Okay, you're learning to drown out the background noise. You're learning who you were before the world told you who you had to be. You're learning how to disconnect from everybody else's bullshit, from everybody else's narratives. You're realizing that you don't have to play by other people's rules. It's not an imposter syndrome. You're not an imposter. You are unadopting, unlearning all the shit that has been programmed in your head your entire life. It's weird. You're moving into the unknown. It's uncomfortable, and you're not supposed to fucking know what you're doing because it's the unknown.
Yep.
Hold on just a second. I gotta pause for just a second. Hold on.
Mhm. But there's just a part of the word imposter that it really bridges into the things outside of you, like outside of yourself, outside of all these other things. And you're basically telling every cell in your body every time you say it, think it, breathe it, live it, that you're not you, you're somebody else. So we're really just identifying the fact that you feel as though energetically, emotionally, physically, whatever, as though you're not being authentic, like he said. So maybe we're masking up. Maybe we have things that other people have taught us, shown us, had us believe in, that we then need to sift through, and we need to ask ourselves, does it really resonate with us? Does it really sit in our energy? And is it really us? Is this who we want to be? Those types of stuff. And it's just crazy. Welcome in, guys. It's just crazy how many things that we've adopted, especially when we're little, because let's be honest, when we're little, we are primed, prepped, taught to adopt the foundations of our families. But when you're older, when you hit your teens, right, you start to rebel against your foundation a little bit. And in your 20s, if you still haven't figured it out, you may be confused about who you actually are. And then when you're in 30 and you're 40 and you're trying to build your own family, then the tough questions go up and go, what do I really want to do? Who do I really want to be? And if you've been avoiding yourself because you've been hitting the hard life survival mode grind for your life to make bills, to make rent, to make this, to make just to survive your basic needs, which is wild. We'll talk about that another time. But like just to survive your basic needs as a human being, as a soul in a vessel, right? Like just to survive, then you actually haven't done any of that inner questioning. You haven't spent time to really do it. So when you're 40, 50 having a midlife crisis and you're like, I don't understand any of this. I don't know who I am. I don't know why I'm at this job. I don't know why I do this for a living. I don't know what this is. I don't know why I don't see my kids. I don't like all of these things because you've made your life so busy full of bullshit that you forgot who you are.
Correct.
So it's not that it doesn't feel as though
know who you are. That's it.
Yeah, it doesn't feel as though it's a full imposter syndrome or anything like that, because when a lot of people use it, it's somebody else is trying to be like you, right?
Yes.
But to call yourself an imposter is really just saying that you're not being authentic. So it's like the way I teach it, and the way that I know Keys agrees with the way I teach it, but your authenticity is the core of who you are. We mask it, we cover it up, we put paper on top of it, we build on top of it, all the things that we had to be funny, we had to be smart, we had to be this, we had to be feminine, we had to look like this, we had to be masculine, we had to wear like all of these labels and things, and we just cover up our authenticity. So shadow work and finding who we are is just removing the things that aren't us. I feel like people try to do it backwards. They go, who am I really? Don't do it that way. You will mess yourself up. And especially when you don't think you're healed, asking yourself, who am I really? You'll go round and round because your unhealed brain will give you every answer that is not correct. Because chances are you're functioning in ego and fight or flight, both of which are not authentic to you. So it's like when we think about authenticity, it's what am I not? So when things come up in your life, it's, does that jive with me? Does it feel like me? Like feel into it, feel your way through that
She said,
energy,
I
that
think I
place.
was meaning, like, who do I think I am to do or say this stuff with authority? Oh, no, that's you standing in your
Oh,
power.
oh, the fear of taking up space.
Yes. Oh no, this is your rise. Like
Yep.
in a good way. This is your like this is uncomfortable. Who do I think I am to do these things with conviction, with confidence, with all these things I've never felt before, right? Into the unknown. Here you are standing in your power like, well, this is weird. This is uncomfortable. No, this is you being you. This is you not afraid to mince words, but then catching yourself and saying, do I really need to say this? Is my silence my power here? Like you're discerning energy. And you're like, well, who is this? Like, who is you? Oh, it is me. Like, this is, shut up.
Well, 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 what do we have here?
I've missed you. Where have you been, friend? Like,
That's
honestly, it's
funny.
the pieces and parts of you, okay? It's the pieces and parts of you in your shadow that you have reintegrated. And then that part of your shadow that's been reintegrated would like to come out and say hello. Reintroduce yourself, as I call it. It's not about rejecting any pieces and parts of yourself. It's about reintegrating them. No shame, no guilt, no nothing for anybody, any version of yourself you've had to be. You have been exactly who you needed to be every step and every moment of your journey to get you to this present moment. Gratitude for all versions of yourself.
Yep. And
See,
I tell
you
people
don't
this all
have
the
to
time,
shame
like,
your shadow. See, I want to say this. This is when people use your shadow, your unhealed shadow against you, the pieces and parts of you that you have buried, that you have rejected, they see the power in your shadow. They use things against you that you have labeled shameful, you resent, you bury, and you uncover. And they fear you accepting and adopting those pieces and parts of you because then they can no longer be manipulated against you. Think
yep.
about it. Nobody dislikes the healed you more than the person who no longer has control or you because you are no longer the person in the version of you that they had the most control over. The power is in your shadow. It is in readopting all pieces and parts of yourself. When you don't reject you, when you aren't shameful of you, when you don't lack confidence in yourself or lack your self-esteem, nobody else can fuel that. But that is you giving your power away and others seeing just how goddamn powerful you are.
And I love the flashlight analogy. I know we talk about it all the time, but I love the flashlight analogy of being like, you're a flashlight. Your light's always on, right? You're always spirit in a vessel. You're always glowing. Your energy's always flowing and moving around. Regardless of how blocked, stuck, or whatever you think your chakras are, your energy is
Thank you for
always
the
flowing.
roses.
You're always sending it, absorbing it, releasing it somewhere.
Yep.
But how often do we see how bright a flashlight is in the daytime? We don't. We go into the closet when, especially when we were little. I don't care what anyone says. You
Yes.
shoved that bitch under your shirt. You went into the closet, and we're like, close the door, right? Like to see how bright this flashlight is. It's the same thing with you. You got to go into your shadow. You got to go into the closet where you hid your shit, right? To
And then you
to
see how
realize
bright your
just
light
how
really
bright of a
is.
light you are. You know, I love the flashlight analogy because I think to me it just it brings in that childlike wonder of like when flashlights and walkie-talkies were the thing. Like I'm probably dating myself now, like not dating myself, but like dating like
I'm
age.
not going to say any
Like,
toys from when I grew up. How about that?
you know what I'm saying?
I will. Pick me, pick me. The glowworm. The glowworm.
I have been
Like the
known to be
old
called
school
a
glowworm.
glowworm or an
Yep.
inchworm, glowing inchworm. Care Bear stared out, you know.
Care Bear stairs, Rainbow Bright.
Rainbow Bright, that takes me back.
Uh-huh.
That takes me back,
Yeah,
dude.
let me age myself.
Not even like that store. Like I had one of my best buddies used to at one point in time call me Rainbow Bright because of my ability to just come into. I never caused problems, but problems found me quite all the time, and especially when I first started working with energy, and everything was just crazy. So I gained that nickname for a minute, and it was just good review, good memory lane. But I don't know. But if you guys have any last minute questions, go ahead
Yes.
and pop them
Got
in
for like maybe 10 more
the
minutes. 10 more minutes, maybe.
yeah, we'll be on here for just a couple more minutes. And I don't know, I just feel like the conversation in this live was so powerful, and I don't usually
Yes.
talk about our lives that way. Um but it's just so powerful that I'm gonna post this one. I know, even though there was no like official reads, I'm still gonna post it because this is real good energy, and we got real good people, and this is great conversation, you know. But if you guys have anything you want touched on, talked on, you want to say something, go ahead and drop it down now. Go ahead
Oh, of
and put it
course.
in the
Thank you
comment
for being
section.
here. Thank you for being here. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for letting us talk and kind of problem solve with you. If it not that you have a problem, but I mean like go back and forth with you. I'm not
Nice,
projecting.
nice.
My bad. Let me
She
check
just said
myself.
how much you helped her, and then you're calling her a problem.
How does the likes help you guys? Cause I'll run it up. Um, I don't. I think it just helps us get on like FYP, which you know what? Right now, that would just be great.
When you shadow ban for being
That
just a
would just
little
be
too
great
real.
because like one day we wake up and like things are great, and then the next day like our accounts being like reported for no damn reason because I ain't even calling it a shadow ban because it's not that. It's not. I'm gonna call it what it is because I don't mince words. I don't mince words anymore.
Yeah,
But
it used to bother me. It doesn't
I
anymore.
think it's funny. I just laugh.
It doesn't anymore. But no, it's just as far as likes go, I don't think that a certain number of likes does anything, but I think the more active the
Yes.
live room is, so the more people are constantly commenting, tapping, sending gifts, or sharing the live and stuff like that, I think all of that together just culminates into a active and a well liked live. So then people, it like pushes it through the algorithm to FYP. That's the only thing that I know about it. Um, so I don't know if it's like any one number or anything like that. Um, we just view it as a reciprocation of energy. So
Yes.
we're sitting here with you. If you jive it, you like a way of saying thank you as a comment or a like or a small gift if you choose that's something you want to do. Like, you know what I mean? Like we just review it as like a
Yes.
receiving of energy for what we're
Yep.
putting out. So we don't get too crazy about it. I know some people get super crazy about it. We don't. We really just don't. Like, you know, but I don't know. I think this is great energy. Like I just
Dude, I can't stop smiling.
I know. I know.
Like my face hurts from smiling so much.
It's
I'm
just one of
impressed
those
with the bitch
energies that
face
is just
anymore.
it's like find your home in it. Find your home in this energy because as crazy as this energy seems to those who are maybe not putting that much self-work in right now or are doubling down in their narrative or their behavior or their cycles, whatever you want to call it, right? Like the bullshit. Like you'll notice them spiraling. You'll notice them firing it up with this Aries, this Wands, this fire, passion, energy. You'll notice them in more of their destructive fire. Where if you've been doing some work, maybe you've been doing some healing, maybe you've been trusting more, maybe you've been whatever, you're owning your shit, yourself, your circumstances, your whatever, your feelings, your authenticity. You'll notice that the fire energy is more of a creation energy right now for you.
2-3 on the clock.
It's more of a phoenix rebirth. It's more of a firing
Walk
shit
through the
up to
fire.
build something that
You walked
forged
through
in
the fire.
fire rather than that burn it to the ground flame kind of a destruction fire. It's a creation fire. It's like the sun energy. And for anybody who's been paying attention, if you
Whoa.
don't have a solar weather app on your
The
phone, go ahead and get
sun
it. The
has
sun's been
been
doing some wild things. The sun has been doing some wild things. All the solar flares, the MX, M3s, M whatevers, like just it equates into the energy that we experience down here on the planet Earth, you know, brothers, like the planet Earth. Like it's one of those things. That's just what happened in my head. It just
ET phone home.
it just happened in my head. It happened so fast. I just was like, brothers. But like it's one of those it's one of those things that um it all equates to everything because everything's energy. So you will notice the flare-ups and the stuff down here. But just stay rooted in what you know. Stay centered in who you are and just allow everything to be crazy and realize that your outside reality does not have to command your inside reality. It does not have to determine who you are on the inside, and it really shouldn't. It should be reversed. Who you are on the inside is shown in your outside. 4:24 on the clock.
I think that's our cue. Yep, that's our cue. That's our cue. You just freeze.
I
right
think
after
as
say
I
that's our
freeze
cue.
this.
Yeah. We just gonna wait a minute. But thank you guys all for.
I did not want to leave without saying thank you to
I know. I'm
everybody.
like, we're gonna wait. That's why I was just thanking everybody.
I laughed and I tilted my star forward and I bopped the phone out. This is why I say when I work with energy, I interrupt electronics. Like, I'm sorry. Like, it's just who I am, I guess. I don't know. But thank you to everybody for your time, your energy. We do the same
No,
thing at the
I'm
same
done.
time.
I'm done.
Thank you,
you all for
everyone,
being
for
here.
for your time, your energy, and your space spent here today. Thank you. 66% battery. Thank you so much. And I just want to shout victory. Like,
39.
stay rooted, stay grounded. You know who you are, you know what you are. Own the energy and do not accept anything that you do not align with internally. Right now, no extra work is needed. You just need to maintain the frequency that everything works out for you easily. Everything flows your way. You are abundant all the time because abundance is an energy and there's abundance that comes in a multitude of different forms. So just stay in that frequency of receiving everything that aligns with you. And this whole rest of the week will be amazing. That's the only thing I had to say. Did it get brighter? Did it get brighter? Like, why is it brighter? Why is it brighter? I feel like I looked down and I looked up and I don't know if you guys see from my end, it like the like window was like okay. Well, this is where we're at
Thank you
today.
guys. We'll see you tomorrow. We'll see you tomorrow.
I might see you tonight, depending on all the crazy. I do have a late night client, but I may see you tonight still around 8:30, 9 o'clock. I'll see how long client goes. So, bye guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you.